tips to get free tuition, discounted books. How can we make this secondary education, this college education, trade school education less expensive because the rising costs are really troublesome to people? And we also reached way back into the mailbag, into the corners of that big old canvas bag that maybe a few of your notes got stuck in.
Yeah,
and we found a lot of really great tips that we hadn't actually called out yet.
Ooh.
So we have a lot of great details from the community. And I'll just jump right in and I'll say, Austin, come on down. He's got a great tip for us. So Austin writes, "Hey, Choose Fi, wanted to share how I am finishing my 4-year degree for free. I work for a telecommunications company in the US that offers $8,000 a year for tuition towards a degree, but all the college programs I looked at cost way more unless I took only a few classes a year. I found an accredited college, Western Governors University, that costs a little over $6,000 a year, no matter how many credits I take. One semester, I completed 32 credits because all of the classwork is done at my pace. I can leverage my work experience to pass classes quicker since it uses a competency-based model. So once I prove I know the content, I can move right on to the next class. It's obviously not the perfect program for everyone, but I'm guessing there's a few people in your audience that would benefit from it." So way to go, Austin. I mean, if you think about it, college is supposed to really show your competency in a certain profession or an aptitude for a certain skill. So that sounds like an awesome way that he's getting a free degree.
Wow, that's fantastic, Brad. I'm excited for your feedback on this, but I realize we didn't bring you into the episode early enough. Are you doing okay, man? Is everything okay?
Yeah, doing quite well, and certainly even better after hearing Austin's little win here, or college hack, I should say. I love that, done at my own pace, right? I mean, how many of us? It's limiting beliefs, maybe on the part of college, that college students should take 15 semester credits, right? Like that's what most people take. Sometimes you take 12, sometimes maybe you take 18, but man, Austin, 32 credits. I mean, that's an entire year's worth. That's more than a quarter of most college degrees. And I mean, amazing for $6,000.
Yeah, it's interesting. I wonder if we'll have anybody really talk about CLEP testing strategies today, just because that's something I know we haven't spent a lot of time talking about, and it uses that competency test-based model where you can actually test out, in many cases, of those credits. So, MK, what's next?
Well, I will say maybe to the CLEP testing. We'll leave everybody on the edge of their seat there.
Yep. Don't close that loop. Don't close that loop.
So the next item comes from Jay, and actually these two are related. So Jay wrote in to share a college hack of going through the military academies in the US for a free degree. And then after that, we'll have a tip about military ROTC scholarships. So these are both two pathways for college students to be able to get their tuition fully paid for or discounted. But the first one comes from Jay. She writes, "Greetings. I sent a tweet to you about a free college opportunity. I have not given your most recent podcast a listen quite yet, but the title made me think of this. Please keep my tweet and this email anonymous." So do not know their full name, do not know any of it. So much of getting to FI is starting off on the right path, or at least not falling behind. A huge way people fall behind is college debt. This is where the U.S. service academies provide a huge opportunity. Schools like the Naval Academy, where the military guide went, the Air Force Academy, West Point, as well as the Coast Guard Academy and Merchant Marine Academy provide tuition-free education, but the benefits don't stop there. While a student cadet or midshipman typically earns about $1,000 a month, a large portion of that goes to pay for uniforms and books, but zero of it goes to pay for tuition or boarding. So it was a huge win relative to paying for school. Beyond that, students get a world-class education, incredible leadership training, and experiences beyond most college campuses. When I went to the U.S. Air Force Academy, I got a free 3 weeks of skydiving, a summer research trip to Europe where I got paid an additional food stipend, and countless other amazing opportunities. The schools are not for everyone. Admissions is tough, and the day-to-day life is even tougher, but it launched me and many others to successful careers. Upon graduating and commissioning as officers, most cadets or mids go off to their first assignment making more than $80K when you factor in their housing and food allowances, with basically guaranteed promotions at the 2-year point and 4-year point. Depending on where you are stationed, by that point, you can easily be making over $100,000 with a portion of your income already tax-free and with access to the incredibly cheap thrift savings plan and other military perks. The worst thing about the academies is that so few people know about them. People shouldn't go for them for financial reasons, but it is a huge plus. Upon graduating, students incur a 5 year debt of service, but the way I see it is that I'm guaranteed a job for 5 years. So if you go to pilot training or other expensive training, that commitment can grow, but so do the opportunities outside of the military afterwards. The military has paid every penny of my undergrad, master's, and doctorate degrees, and to repay them, I have to do a job I love and make great money. I think I'm okay with that bargain. So, this is all from a young officer hoping to one day be FI. So, this was a really great detail of their college hack going to the military academy.
Yeah, and it's not to say there's not a price being paid when you join the military. I mean, that's a really, really big commitment. But to not consider it, probably that's a huge blind spot. That's an incredible package that they put together. And if you do go into military, regardless of whether it's enlisted or officer, if you know the rules, you're given all the tools you need that when you finish your term of service, you could never have to work again. We have seen example after example of that. There's some fantastic financial tools available to support you on your path.